What's the Satori? We got a new backdrop for you guys. Just in. Yeah, we better stay in the shop there. We're after going out of it. Yeah, busy March. We're into April now. We haven't got to do one of these in almost a month.
Yeah, we'll be busy.
Yeah, busy. Last time we were talking to you guys was just before the Cork International Open, so that went really well.
Yeah.
Really happy with how it went. Great event. Everyone that came out for it was really good atmosphere. There were so many people at it. The location was great as well.
Yeah, it was good buzz, wasn't it?
Fair play, Patsy.
I came together with all the help of everyone, and yeah, we made it a success. And probably the most thing that stood out was how many people were thankful that we brought a tournament to Cork. They're just so appreciative that they didn't have to do the big long drive back as usual. As we're finding more, as we're going out of Dublin more and more, it's tough the other way. But no, we were delighted to get down, and we have family in Cork and all the likes of that, and see people and get the event together. And I think he ended up with 460 competitors.
I can't remember exactly how many it was. It was a lot though.
We ran on time and got the absolutes in at the end, and yeah, some really good matches. Good purple belt division, with some good brown belt matches. Yeah,
it was the first real big one since the restrictions were lifted, because the last one we ran, like, it wasn't ideal, but we had to, like, the venue was saying you had to check people's COVID certs and stuff, whereas this one is just kind of a lot more back to normal, which was brilliant. Like,
yeah, it's mad actually, because like, you think about, remember we made what's the story, and it was touching on like how much of your time went on COVID stuff, like to do with the venue and to do, whereas all your normal competition planning was just pulled away. So yeah, good point. Maybe that's why it went a bit more smooth.
Yeah, it was great. It was great just to have that sense of normality back.
Just good matches. And then the team trophy, SPG Cork took first place, and Antok took second place down there. So they were happy with that as well.
Yeah. Then what we had a comp on here. Then that was Gi and No Gi at the major. Then we had sub-only matchups here last weekend, was it? The weekend before recently. That was really good as well. So just to give people different looks, as they call it, 10-minute matches, submission only. If there's no submission in the time, which most of the time there is, then it went to the overtime round, starting on the back or with the armbar off the mount, the spider's web position.
And we haven't seen those rules in a while either. Like a couple of people were saying that it's a lot different because you're not so worried about people coming up. You can let them come up if you're after the legs and stuff, because there's no points involved. So we had a couple of people do it, and for one of the guys, it was his first tournament, and then just talking to him after, just saying that for a first tournament, 10-minute matches, and him on your back, you on his back, like the whole thing probably went on 12 or 13 minutes for his first ever match. So when he goes to other tournaments and 5-minute matches at Wipeout and stuff, you should be feel less pressure maybe. Or
yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a bunch of benefits to it, and just the difference in the rule set just helps create a more well-rounded athlete and competitor, I think. Obviously you can prioritise whichever one you prefer yourself, points, gi, no gi, whatever. But then throwing in the odd variation in the rule set can just help you focus and perform that little bit different, which can help the whole. So yeah, it was really good. It was really good.
The kids got out that morning as well. We just ran it under points matches for the kids. Some of the smallest, I've refereed a fair few matches now, but some of the smallest kids I've ever refereed.
Yeah.
There's a division picture up there. There was a young lad down from FAI. I think it was one or two Team Rhino, and one other kid. They were tiny. They were 4 years old. Like it was very enjoyable to referee them and watch them, and they were doing all the right things and stuff, and just so no, it was great to be involved and to be able to referee that next wave. And
that's the wave after the next
the wave after
next
wave. There's waves upon waves.
4 years old, like I was 24 when I put the command.
When you got going.
When they got going.
All the kids were happy out, no injuries, what we always pray for our events as well. Referees doing a good job, staff doing a good job. We ran on time. It was a lot easier because it's smaller event in gym. I was happy with how it went.
Definitely. Yeah, just flying through stuff here. We had the 65 Roses Open Mat Awareness Day there on Saturday. So
just to raise a bit of awareness about 65 Roses, and a lot of people wouldn't be like in the limelight, or a lot of people wouldn't be educated on it, but it's a hereditary disease that I believe chips away at your immune system, your major organs and autoimmune system. And the link is up on the Satori page. There's an article on what is cystic fibrosis, and it was nice just to raise a little bit of awareness. We got 65 rounds in, or tried to get 65 rounds in, and from 9 o'clock we ran the kids' classes rounds, and Yanis was there running them through, and then by the time we got to the open mat, and just had little conversations and just raising awareness, and the lads seemed to roll and be happy out. So job done for this year, and next year we'll do the same. I was just trying to do a little bit for cystic fibrosis.
Absolutely. And then you've been up and down the country on your road trips.
Yeah, trying to get around a little bit. Trying to do a little bit of fundraising. Jake and I got on the Team Ireland for the Europeans in end of May in Italy, I believe. And there's costs involved as there is with all tournaments. You think Cork's fair, Italy's a bit further, you know. So there's obviously the flights, the accommodation, the team tracksuits, all like that, and because MMA isn't a recognised sport or whatever it is, that the athlete or the coach or the team have to come up with the money. So it is quite an expensive trip, but look, we're doing what we can to help take the dent out of it, and it's going well. So we're lucky enough to last Thursday get out to Oma MMA, which is a rising club from Northern Ireland. We first ran into the Oma lads at the National MMA Leagues back in the pre-COVID when it was in the smaller cage and stuff, and Jerry was there. He was doing the Cameron was fighting on them. They were all just getting going and all. So to see them come up the way they've come up and the effort that Jerry puts in and the camaraderie that they have, it was nice to actually go up to the gym. And we got up there one way or another. We got up there and got training from 7 till about 9 o'clock, ran an OG class, just try to run an OG class kind of the way we run an OG class in our gym. Sometimes it might be a little bit different, and then cover a couple of things I like to do in OG that have worked for me. So from the front headlock position and setting up the front headlock position, and then a couple of chokes and a couple of squeezes. So like we got a couple of rounds, and then at the end everyone seemed to enjoy it. I definitely enjoyed it, and thanks very much Tom and to Jerry for organising it and accepting me and the lads with such open hands and open arms and getting good rounds in. It was almost like we were part of the gym, to be honest with you, the way we were in and out. So no, it was great, and then we had a great laugh on the way in the drive back down. It's always the conversation after training is always a bit more open. I think people left their emotions in on the mats, you know. So we had a great laugh in the car on the way back down. We were talking all sorts, like, and the lads came out of their shells a little bit in the car and stuff, and it's nice to not only just be talking about jiu-jitsu, you know, because you only meet each other here and on the run to the run. And that was really, really enjoyable. So the next day we got back, and then Friday and then Saturday was Jamie was fighting, right? Yeah,
Jamie was fighting. It was, and funny enough, he was fighting one of the guys from their team,
which makes it make it even more interesting.
But no, it's all for friendly competition. The guys are great.
And I get what he's like, what Jerry was saying up there. He was like, man, just like yourselves, every weekend it's something. You know, and he's like, when you're doing something every weekend and midweek to stuff, he's like, dates are going to clash, and we're doing a seminar Thursday, the lads are fighting Saturday. It's just the way when you're getting so much in, I don't think the dates matter so much anymore, do they? It's just busy, yeah. So
it was a good fight. It was Jamie was 5-1 going into it. He'd only lost one fight, which was in Italy, wasn't it, that time?
Maps.
Yeah, and so, but unfortunately, it was a good match, but he twisted his knee. He injured his knee at the IMAFs, and he got caught in the canvas, twisted, and just couldn't continue, unfortunately. So it's a ligament injury in the knee, so it's a dodgy one. He just has to get it sorted, like has to get 100% sorted, and then it'd be good to go again. But unfortunate,
it's part of the game, though.
Yeah, injuries happen. But we're very fortunate that the injuries stand out so much because they're so rare for us. Like, there's so few injuries. Like, compared to the guys, one of the guys dropped there this week at AstroTurf again. It's constant. But thankfully in training and stuff, we're very rarely getting injuries, so we're going to keep it that way. Next up on your road trips, you're going to Black Dragon Cavan.
Tomorrow we're going to Cavan, Black Dragon. We're doing a gi class from 7 till about 8:15 or half 8, I think, and looking forward to going up. Larry comes down and trains here a bit and stuff, so looking forward to going up and meeting Larry's lads and showing a bit of gi techniques. We might do a bit more from the guard instead of front headlock on top. And it's nice to be able to teach gi and no gi in different gyms. And I'm really looking forward to it. Like we have family in Cavan, like our father's from Cavan. We used to always, I can't even say Cavan, but we used to spend a lot of our childhoods in Cavan and stuff. So it'll be familiar territory.
If anyone's in the area and wants to drop in, like the more the merrier.
Yeah.
For anyone up
And
there.
Black Dragon Martial Arts. I'm not too sure if it's. I'm not too sure actually if it's in Cavan.
Ballyduff, Ballyjames Duff.
Oh, it's in Ballyjames Duff. Yeah. So that's where we're heading tomorrow now.
What else we got? So much stuff. There was the cadet training for some of the teams.
That was Sunday, yes.
Yeah, so we done that Sunday. I was on 2 weeks previous. So that's the build up to them, the cadets. So it's from ages 12 to 17, is it? I believe.
Yeah.
And really good. It was great for some of the guys that would usually, they're bigger especially, that get to spar people in the gym but adults. So it's good for them to get to spar people their own age of a similar size. Just for a bit of a change. Kieran Dameron was there showing nice wall working technique. So more the better.
The kids might know how lucky they are if they be getting such high level technique. Like at the moment, like Kieran's going around doing seminars left, right, and centre, and gyms are. He's wanted in all the gyms like to do seminars, and then he's giving up his time on a Sunday morning with the rest of the mat coaches and showing some really solid stuff. So I'm encouraging the guys, and if this is making sense to you in his work, make sure you scratch it down on a pad and remember this is what you're doing this day, and yeah, he knows what he's at, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Like, very lucky to have him.
Yeah.
Club rash guards incoming.
Yeah. Orders going in. I'm just waiting on one guy, but orders going in this evening. We're going to get some Satori rash guards with the club logo on the back. We're going to get some blank Satori rash guards with no club logo on the back. So they'll be in probably next 20 days, give or take, and they'll be at the reception. Coming into summer and stuff, get your club rash guard for no-gi, for MMA. We'll be working on some shorts and some spats as well. All the gis are in, the new gis are in, so yeah, we've been trying to claw back a few different areas, haven't we? But it's getting there, it's getting there. Like we thought, I personally thought that this would be grand, that right, COVID's over and parcels are being back delivered. This is going to be an easy one. You almost can't get stuff.
Yeah.
You almost cannot get stuff worldwide. Even the tracksuit order that I put in on a different platform now, they're after surrendering their transit routes because of the Ukraine war. And now their deliveries aren't 5 or 6 days anymore, they're 6 weeks. So it's just a bit different getting stuff at the moment. So Brexit, COVID, war, the parcels are a bit slower, but we're doing what we can.
Yeah, and
I'm
just
happy with how it's going. Like
on the rash guards, anyone that has money for them, grab one. If you don't, we understand, that's fine. But just don't come showing up looking like a peacock, wearing something, that costs like
120 quid.
One guy showed up with a rashi that was close to €100, but it actually was okay. But some of the other stuff, they literally come in looking like a peacock. If you don't have the money for it, there's t-shirts down in pennies for like £3. Just get a plain black t-shirt, £3, and you're good to go. If you have the money, grab a club rash guard. If you don't, just plain black. That's it. Next up is you got Nathan Jones coming in soon.
Yeah, bag and tag. I met Nathan in Tiger Muay Thai. He actually had a bit of a neck injury at the time, and I was rocking that bit of a knee injury at the time, so we suited each other around the train. Still got good training in with him, man.
Yeah.
Real nice guy, likeable guy, honest martial artist. Came from the kickboxing, has kickboxing and black belts and stuff, jiu-jitsu brown belt. Someone said to me the other day, is Nathan good? And I was thinking, he's exceptionally good, like especially when you're training with him, like. But his medals in IBJJF World no-gi.
Really?
Yeah, he has won on Polaris. He's fought and won on Cage Warriors, and he's fought and won on Bellator. So to have one of them in your arsenal, a lot of people would be teaching classes and stuff because they won on Polaris. So Nathan, like, he has a lot of feathers in his hat, like, so he's coming over.
Feathers in his hat?
So he's coming over for a competition. He's a lot of whatever, he had a lot of experience. He's coming over for a competition on the end of the month. So I'll be getting him on the Friday morning, and then he's teaching no-gi class Friday night and MMA class. So it'll just be kind of 1 or 2 techniques that he likes to do for no-gi, and then morphing into 1 or 2 techniques that he likes to do for MMA. And then Saturday he'll be in the gym, I believe, and then Sunday he'll be competing with a couple of lads from the gym, and then Sunday he'll be shipping out. So anyone that's around Friday the 29th of May, I want to say, April, 29th of April, last Friday of the month, give or take, 27th it might be. Nathan's in, he's trained with us before. Any of the lads that done MMA with him before seem to really like it.
Yeah.
So we're looking to have people dropping in again. Yeah, it's been a long time since people dropped in because you weren't allowed to fly, etc. So everything's coming back to normal. The house will be back full.
Bit by bit. It's just taking a bit longer
than
we realised. But on Friday nights, I was forgetting to say, the Muay Thai class are going well. There's 7 o'clock on Friday. So there's no gi before that, 6 o'clock, so people can come in, do both, do one, do the other. But yeah, it's going well.
Yeah, it's growing. It's only the third. Like, we had a pretty good Muay Thai program at one stage, and then we kind of morphed into a boxing program, and there was Thai on the side. That was brilliant. Like the boys come on leaps and bounds and that. And then we had a bit of a break, so we're just rebuilding it and starting off with Friday night. I think it's the 3rd week now. I think there was the usual. There was 3 or 4 down the first night, 4 or 6 down the second night. I think there the other night, I think there was 10 or 12 lads, and they got a good class in. So anyone looking to do a little bit extra striking or a little bit extra training, you've got your no-gi 6 to 7 and your Muay Thai 7 to 8. So it's an enjoyable night of training.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other one on the schedule is 7 a.m. Mondays. Is Taylor's doing a class there. It's not so much a class as come down, you have your own drills, and then you do some sparring. So if anyone wants to train the Monday mornings or any mornings, give Taylor a shout on that one, and you can get it in, especially coming into the summertime. You might have a bit more oomph with the sunshine out for the morning time.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Then just upcoming, we've got the National Novice MMA League is coming up in
next
a week
Sunday.
and a half.
We're doing matchmaking for that next week. There's about 80 or so regs in at the moment. It's next Sunday. Just make sure you complete your reg. The cadets then, the 12 to 17 with the IMAFs, that's 2 weeks later. So it's a good chance to get a run out before the ones up north.
Yeah.
We've 7 or 8 lads jumping in here ourselves, so looking forward to that one.
That's the other thing, like the matchmaking, if you don't get a match, you'll get a refund anyway. So a lot of people, there might not be someone into their division, so they won't register, but there's 4 people there pre-registered. So they're all waiting for one person to register, and then no one registers. Well, if you register and no one else registers, you get the refund. But if you register early, you've got more and more chance of getting more matches, because people say, oh, there's someone there, I'm registered.
Yeah. And we literally are having that. We had it with the no-week comp last week, and there was 1 or 2 lads that rocked in on Thursday, and they registered Thursday night, and then they had no match Friday, and we went.
They've been prepping for like 6 weeks.
And then we went to check the division, and there was 6 other lads in it that didn't approve the reg. And I was saying to the guys, if you had a registered 6 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, and you were in blue this last 5 weeks, there's a very, very, very good chance one of the other 6 there would have jumped in
for a start,
and then another one, and next thing the division's full. So maybe just if you are competing at like white belt, blue belt, stuff like that. I know a lot of the competitions, it seems, are free for black belts and stuff this year. But if you are, don't pre-reg for a load. Just pick a tournament you're going to do. Complete a reg for that. Focus on that, and then maybe if there's a secondary tournament or something, you can register for that later on. And then you might just have one goal, rather than pre-regging for 4 or 5 and ending up doing one.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And then the big one coming up is Galway. Start of June.
Hold them out.
That's going to be the first weekend in June. Oh, you got them. They do look quite good, don't they?
Yeah, well, it's the angle.
Fair play to Patty on the medallion design.
Yeah.
And order, and that's going to be great, man. That's going to be the same.
It's
as
the opposite
Cork.
of the Cork medal there. So the Cork medal was a C, and this one's a reverse C. So, so they go in. But it's nice to see the way they lock in. It's only that we're just waiting on 1 or 2 of the other Cork medals to come. But the idea is that the Dublin Open at the end of the year, that's the Dublin Open medal. There it is, right. And if you had the Cork medal, and then you've got your Galway medal that you can interlake, and you can plaque them at the back or whatever. So you'll basically have a plaque of medals done. So that's the idea behind that. It's going pretty well. And then just in as well was the nice and heavy was the
team trophy
for Galway International Open. So that's June 5th. There's about 200 guys and girls registered now for it. It's in NUIG, the college in Galway, and it's going to be good fun. It's the first time we're going over there. It's the first tournament in Galway, I think, really. Or
Yeah, I haven't
international?
heard of Jiu-Jitsu comps in Galway before. Could be wrong, obviously could be wrong,
Yeah.
but like that'd be a big one, so
Yeah.
it's going to be big and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Gi and no gi, kids, adults, masters, etc. And same thing, register early, like we were just saying, and with our comps, if you don't get a match, you can just email in and you get a refund, and that's the way we run it. The week before, sometimes people like to compete and then compete again quick. We have a grassroots comp on the weekend before that as
Gi.
well here, and it's going to be a gi comp. So if you want a smaller comp, you want one closer to Dublin, or you want one as a build up to the one in Galway, get in on that one as well. That's pretty much it. Like,
Yeah, another month. Good gradings last week, or last week with the kids. And moving on to another block with the kids now. We're going to do some sequencing this month. So how to combine passes, sweeps and stuff into submission. So just trying to develop a little bit of mindset with them as well, where like it's kind of hard to explain it. We're trying to almost trick the opponent into a submission. So you're pretending to do a sweep, it was a trick. So you're going on the Kimura instead of the sweep and stuff. So I'm looking forward to this month and figuring out a little bit more.
Good. Well, that's a wrap. Until next time, we'll have plenty more news with these road trips and amount of content, amount of stuff coming up. We'll try to get back to you faster next time, but it's just been a blur.
Yeah, busier, no better way to be.
Until next time.
Us.